The other four of you who are really talking about not the digital transmission, but the whole issue of value for signal. And we've had these massive campaigns who are suggesting it will be $10 or something like that. Over the last few days, I've spoken to both BDUs and broadcasters, and this is vastly exaggerated. I don't know what the amount is. You should negotiate it. But if you look at the rates that are being paid for specialty TV, and specialty TV don't have some of the advantages you have. So you have a partial compensation in kind. We find it doesn't represent your full value, and you should negotiate. We don't know where this comes out. It's going to come out somewhere. I suggested around 25 cents. And so that depends where you live. Multiply that by the number of local stations that produce local content. It amounts to 75 cents, $1.50, depending where you live. And obviously the BDUs are not going to pay for it. They're going to pass it on to you, to the consumer. The question is that really a backbreaker, or can you afford it? Or if you can afford it, what will be your action? What will you do in terms of changing your consumption of TV, or what you buy and what you don't buy? And so let me just put that to all of you. Assume it's between $1 and $1.50. What does that mean for you?
Well, Mr. Chair, we already pay for the LPIF, which was a 1.5%. Well, it's not a tax, but the way that the BDUs distributed it, it might as well be a tax. A tax on local television. We already pay basic cable. Yes, it does have some specialty channels associated with that. But essentially, we're already paying $30 for local television. Yesterday, Mr. Chair, you used an example of how much would it cost in the Ottawa area. You said it would be around $1 because we have 4 local stations here. I just have a question about that. What about global CHCH and other local stations that are fed into the basic cable package in whether it be Ottawa or Northern Ontario? Would they also get the 25 cents? Because it also begs the question, if you're digital cable or satellite and you have the time shift packages, then it starts climbing in rates because you'll have, for CTV, 25 cents for Atlantic. Oh, sorry.
You're making all sorts of assumptions I didn't make. I was very specific. I said the local signal that produces the local news and local programming. That's not CCH. That's Hamilton. We are in Ottawa.
Okay,
Ottawa, so you are the stations in Ottawa that produce local news and local programming.
Okay, then. So the proposed 25 cents, the suggested 25 cents would be then directed to, depending on what region of the country you live in, would be determining. So like in Northern Ontario, because we only have one local broadcaster, it'd be 25 cents. Okay, then. I don't think it's a question of affordability, because you're right, 25 cents isn't very much. But I think when it comes to it is, should consumers have to pay? I already made the point that basic cable, the local TV matters argument is, we already pay for local television. As a consumer, I feel that.
Len, you have some questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to move into the area of the future and not dwell with today. So if tomorrow you all moved to a new area not served by your cable and your internet provider, what factors would you take into consideration in making your decision? And I'll give you a couple of them to mull over as well. Obviously, price is one of them. Local programming is another one. Community program is another one. The quality of the network, the leading edge technology, whether they bundle internet and cable services together or they don't. I want to get a sense from you folks who are out there today, what you would do in evaluating your choices. And again, don't look what you have today because you're in a new area and you're starting off. You got to make a phone call. What are the things you're going to think about?
Well, so say I moved to Vancouver, a completely new market from Northern Ontario. I would, obviously price is a factor to moving to a new city, whether it's a high cost of living or a low cost of living. Price definitely a factor.
The price is number one.
Price is number one. Price, and then very close second would be quality of internet service, quality of television service. And then afterwards, I would look at the local programming because Rogers TV in Toronto, because living in Toronto, I see small and large BDUs, and I kind of see the difference in the local distribution. Rogers TV is a fine station. It does provide things that CTV or City don't provide. So that would be another aspect to look at it, because it's an additional voice, and that's, in my opinion, is key. The more voices we have, the more Canadian dialogue we have, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. So those would be the three things that I would look at.
Okay. How about the folks in Toronto on the video? Ms. Broad or Mr. Berman?
Thank you, Sam.
Okay, thank you very much, all of you. Thank you for your comments and taking the time to participate. As you know, we are in this hearing asked to ascertain the views of consumers. So it's very important to us that you actually took the time and come forward and share them with you. So I thank you for that. We'll now take a break and we'll resume at 1:30 this afternoon. Thank you.